Jumbo, everyone.
Harambe.
And welcome to another edition of the Magic Our Way podcast. Asante San, everyone. You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana, in the United States of America. We are artistic buffs talking about Disney stuff, and this is the show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us. Today, we are talking about Dumbo. My name is Kevin.
I'm Danny.
And on this show, we follow the Disney concept of edutainment, where we focus on your entertainment, and along the way, you just might learn a thing or two.
Hey.
And as always, to join the discussion, we have our resident comic genius from ivorycomics.com, Mr. Eli Ivory. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. It's always good to hang out with my CMBs. That's my cashless but weekend brethren. How y'all doing?
Cashless. Cashless Marsalis.
Cashless Clay over there.
And also on the show, joining us is our resident travel agent from Magical Moments Vacations, the Shaggy TA, Lee Lastavica. Hey, Lee.
Hey, how's it going? It's crazy weather over there, I hear.
Slightly, yes.
A little wet.
Yeah.
A little windy.
A little wet,
a little moist.
A little wet and windy.
Yeah, a little tough.
But guys, look, also on this date, we are recording this on Saturday, June 6th. Today is the 76th anniversary of D-Day.
Oh.
And just so happens the day before we record, June 5th, the first major theme park in the United States reopened, and that is Universal. How about that?
All right.
So now we get to see how the great experiment takes place and see how Universal does up until Walt Disney World opens. How about that, huh?
Keep my fingers crossed.
And you know what I heard? I heard they're selling branded face masks now.
Branded?
Yes, so now you can get your own Universal Studios Florida face mask.
Ah.
How about that?
Souvenir of interesting times, I
suppose. I know. I mean, if
we got Corona powder masks.
Right.
Well, quick question before we go on the show. If Disney did that, and, you know, not knowing if we would ever go through something like this again, would you want to splurge, maybe not splurge, but want to get one of those Disney branded face masks? Like, what if they had a face mask that was like Haunted Mansion wallpaper themed or something like that?
But weren't they selling some earlier, or at least I saw when this virus
you talking about Universal?
No, Disney.
Oh, Disney. I don't know. They didn't say they were. Universal was definitely selling, but I'm sure Disney was, but they never announced it.
Oh,
but if they were selling branded ones,
yes.
would you say, "Hey, Raz, get me one," or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what the characters were and stuff, and the cost. Always about the cost. Yeah.
So if they had a Jasmine face mask, you get it.
Jasmine in face, that's not
Jasmine on his face is welcomed at any time.
I was
any
like,
cost whatsoever.
I love those two words in the sentence. So
okay.
I'm with you. Yeah.
I don't think that I would go out of my way to ask somebody to purchase it for me, but if I was there in the parks, I might get one like with the Cheshire Cat smile on it or something for all the pictures.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, because you're going to be taking so many photos, and you only be seeing your eyes in the photos. So, I mean, at least have a smile on.
Big old smile.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Cheshire Cat, I like that. So Jasmine, Cheshire Cat. I don't know what I would get. Lee, what would you get if they had a Disney branded mask?
A friend of mine was making them, and I got a Star Wars one from her that has stormtroopers on it. So, and then I got my kid a different Star Wars design one, and and she's got a lot of cool designs on her Facebook page. But I don't know. Hopefully, this doesn't stick around long enough to be a marketable item. But we'll see. Like I was in the mall this week, and I saw one of those little kiosks selling masks. I'm like, man, how long do y'all think this is going to be like this?
Could be interesting, yeah. I just thought about it. Maybe I get some like Jessica Rabbit mask.
Oh, right on.
Of a certain area, and make people double take and say, is that eyes or is that, what is that? I don't know. Just a thought as I'm driving across the lake today on the way to record.
It's something to think about, though.
I'm not contagious. I'm just drawn that way.
Yes, that's right. Well, listeners, look, show at magicourway.com. Let us know. Would you want to go for a Disney branded face mask if they came back online a month from now and started offering those? What would you do? What would you want to have on? We want to hear you. Also, if you want to get in touch with us, man, magicourway.com. That's where you can find us. All the contact information to support us and to share your opinions there. So, guys, today we are talking about Dumbo. Lee, what are we talking about, Dumbo? What parts are we exploring here?
Yeah, tell us about Dumbo's parts.
Yes, tell us about the parts.
Dumbo's parts? Well, mostly the trunk, but mainly the ears. And no, but
I like the ribeye myself.
elephant ribs.
I get those short ribs.
Good ribs.
Yes.
How many ribs?
One rib?
One rib.
I want one rib.
Just one rib.
Forget the cup. Just put it in my hand.
Just one rib. All I want is one rib.
Well, excellent. That's what we're talking about today in the Hub, and I'm looking forward to discussing it. So, guys, enough of our jibber jabber. Let us go discuss some Dumbo magic. Mohegans, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hub. And the Hub is our segment in which we can talk pretty much about anything. We can, just like a hub, you can go in any different direction you want. And for today's Hub, we are discussing Dumbo. It just happens to be one of Lee's favorite rides, right? And probably movie too. Yeah, Lee, would you say so?
Yep. That's the whole gist behind this. You know, Dumbo is definitely, of the classics, my favorite Disney classic movie. You know, something I grew up with, and I'll get into a little bit of that here at the beginning. But, you know, really wanted to just kind of explore where that came from and how, you know, my love Dumbo came about, and talk about some of the trivia and some of the, you know, behind the scenes stuff, et cetera, et cetera. Not necessarily like a review of the movie or anything like that, but more just maybe some of the things you don't know about Dumbo and how it came to be, and the attractions and things like that. So pretty much like just about everything you wanted to know about Dumbo and then some.
Okay,
All
cool.
right.
Where would you like to start, sir? Since this is your favorite attraction, I'll let you take the lead on this.
Yeah. Now, just to clarify that, I mean, you know, I thought about this when we always have these comparison shows of the best attractions in the park, or the best this or the best that. And, you know, Dumbo doesn't usually make the final cut. So, and that's okay. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best attraction in the park, but it's one of my favorites. And that's one of those things that it's more to do with, you know, nostalgia and having the love for the movie and things like that. So, you know, the attraction itself is pretty basic, but it all comes from the love of the movie itself.
Is that from when you first saw it in the theater in 1941?
1941, you know, I was 6 years old at the time, so I remember it well.
And your beard was too.
So to get out of the war, you decided to go see Dumbo?
Yeah.
You hid out in the theater? Mm-hmm. Is that what you did?
Yes, exactly.
Shame.
But it's funny to say that because, you know, it's weird the way your memory works, because I could have swore, you know, that I remember seeing this movie, and I'm sure I saw it somewhere, but obviously I didn't see it when it opened.
No.
But, you know,
they used to re-release it in theaters.
Right.
Yeah, back before there was VHS. Yeah.
like Bambi.
that's my thing, right? Did I see it in the movie theater maybe, or did I, you know, was it like the movie of the week, what you call that, you know, how they do the Sunday, at the end of the week they have the Disney, you know, they show a movie of the week or whatever on TV. But either way, definitely is something I remember. I vividly remember having the record and playing that record and singing, you know, Casey Jr. and doo doo and you know, the Crow songs and you know, never be everything but I see an elephant fly.
I think you're onto something with what is this show, Cooking with Magic?
Cooking with Magic?
You should totally like cook something and then sing while he's doing it.
You should.
Okay. I'll have to make something that has a song to go along with it.
I never saw no bearded man cook.
What?
Yeah.
But I see it here my food.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
It's nothing but roughage.
What? Think I saw the hair moving. Hey, but let me ask you, what is it about Dumbo that you like enough that you feel to bring this forward to the Mohicans?
To present upon our plate here,
Yes.
right now,
The
on
we
this
must
table,
eat here.
which we shall explore. What is it, sir? What is it?
What drove you? Your
Tell us.
motivation.
Your inspiration. We must know.
What?
Son of speak!
Well, Kevin, that would probably be a good place to insert our audio clip here.
Oh?
Oh, there's an audio clip?
There's an audio clip that goes along with this. So that's a good place to start. Let me play you a little something from Mrs. Lastavica.
Okay.
Not my wife, my mom.
Your mom!
Your mom? You got your mom on the podcast?
I got my mom on the show, which actually is weird now because she listens to it, so I'm like, I'm gonna have to watch what I say a little bit more.
Let's find the best episode to send it to his mom.
Yeah,
We'll do a Best of Lee episode next week.
Yeah, actually, for the 400 show, I can put a best of Lee montage.
please.
Yes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then
There's
send
some
it-
with priest and politics.
Yeah, I won't release it. I'll just send it straight to his mom.
Racist or not, Lee's clips.
Well, I just said priest.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, this is an interesting topic you talk about in connection with.
Yes, world events. But Lee, I'm curious.
I wasn't gonna say that.
Good job, blowing right past.
I wasn't gonna say that.
Lee, is this the DVC owner?
Yeah, I'm on DVC. Yeah.
Oh, this is your mom's the DVC owner. Okay.
Kevin's like, enough of that. Let's go to the club.
I was gonna say in relation to Dumbo. Dumbo.
Oh, Dumbo.
Yeah. I'm on y'all side today. I'm on y'all side.
Off air, it's like chocolate on the rocks. On air, no.
What you doing?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, play your mom.
Kevin, he did have a great line before that. Y'all should share that one with the listeners. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, no, it was
at least Kirk would understand this.
Yes.
What was the line I said?
Well, because you were pouring some of that chocolate
We had
whiskey.
the liquor, and then
Chocolate on the rocks?
Yes. You were pouring some for Eli, and you said,
would you like some on the rocks?
would you like some chocolate on the rocks?
Would you like some chocolate on the rocks? Yes.
And you
that's
said,
right.
and I guess that described you in Disneyland.
Oh, right. Yeah.
yes,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
and I
That's
was
right.
like, that's quite sweet. That's quite
Yes.
sweet.
Yeah,
And
that was
then-
my thick innuendo. Or not innuendo. Was it innuendo?
It
What
was
is that?
double
As in you-
entendre,
double entendre,
innuendo.
You were
Double-
referencing Eli's inner body, outer body? What
My
is
outer
it?
body
Outer body
experience
experience on the
on the
rocks
rock in Disneyland.
Disneyland, but then also about my smooth sweetness at the same
That's
time.
right. Your chocolatiness.
That is like the best compliment I've had.
Deliciousness.
Like, I feel very euphoric right now.
You do you?
I do.
Oh man,
Absolutely.
that's awesome. So now we're prepared to listen to Lee's mom,
Damn.
the kid's grandma.
Your
Sorry,
grandma on there too? No, yeah.
your kid's grandma. Yeah, I'm getting losing in the truth.
Mama Vika.
Mama Vika. Oh,
Yeah.
this is Mama Vika.
When I was pregnant with Lee, his dad and I were hoping that he would get his dad's ears and my nose. Unfortunately, he got his dad's big nose and my big ears. Because I had my fair share of kids making fun of me growing up because of my ears, I wanted Lee to be able to identify with a little hero. So I introduced him to Disney's Little Jumbo Jr., the little elephant with big ears that got the cruel nickname Dumbo. But in the end, Dumbo comes to realize that his ears are what makes him special. And that's how I wanted Lee to feel special.
Oh, Mama Vika.
Mama Vika.
That's awesome.
But little did we know it would be his beard that made him special.
yeah, forget
Not his
Mama
ears.
Vika. Forget the ears. We got a beard hat
beard.
situation. I don't know if you noticed the last Thanksgiving.
But maybe he grew the beard to take attention away from the ears and the nose.
That's it.
Was that it, Lee? Was that what you're doing?
No, not really. This beard just happened over the last year or so. So no, that's not a good reason.
You just do not write a joke very well.
No.
It was like, bam.
But,
You wanted to eat, and if food fell from your mouth, you wanted to roll back on your
Was-
plate.
was
So you
cake.
grew yourself a ramp.
Right. You want to keep it for 2 more months like a squirrel.
Did
That's
your
right.
mama play you Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and you saw the beards and then that's what happened?
well, that could be.
I like
could
that
be some
too.
latent beard.
Some dwarf
jealousy.
envy that you had? Like,
There you go.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
I do know. I do like the fact that she felt to inspire him. That she said, "Here's someone you can connect,
Identify with. Yeah. No, I think that's adorable.
That's nice. I like that.
Mama Vika, that's awesome.
That's
Mama
nice.
Vika, you definitely raised a child that is special.
He's very special.
You're
Love
welcome on
it.
the show. Love you. Anytime you want to come on the show, Mama Vika, you're more than welcome.
That's
Oh,
it.
I'd love to talk to Mama Vika.
Oh boy.
Mama Vika, yeah. She might be the next,
Yeah, I
one
don't
of
know
the next
that's
hosts.
gonna happen. You might be feeling too many secrets on me. I don't know.
I just want to know about the night you were conceived.
It was a dark and stormy night in Galveston. There was a tropical storm happening, and your father and I didn't know if we were going to make it. So we did the only thing we knew how to do, and
Yeah.
it was very natural. 9 months later, Lee.
Flew out by the stork. The
He
stork
did.
dropped
He did.
him off.
There's a little mouse right next to me when I was giving birth.
Yeah,
And
that's it.
had little pom-poms. And then out came Lee flying out with his ears.
When I see Lee, lots of you can fly.
That's right. Is that how it worked, Lee?
Wow, y'all took this to a whole different direction.
You're welcome.
Oh, you know, artistic buffs talking about Disney stuff. You know.
Nasty stuff.
We're
You
creative.
never asked your mom about that?
Well, I know how it works, so I didn't really feel the need to ask.
I know how it works.
Well, Mama Vika, if you want to come on the show and let us know, please
Yes.
do.
Yes, I would love to hear some.
It's beautiful. It's a
Stories.
beautiful thing.
It is.
Yeah, it's so natural.
Yes.
Yeah, and he created this person that's about to talk to us about Dumbo. Lee, talk to us.
All right. So, as I said at the beginning, this isn't really going to be a recap of the movie per se. If you haven't seen it, again, it's been out since 1941. I'm not really sure what you're waiting on. But,
Yeah, spoiler alerts.
Spoiler.
You don't want to sum it up for him?
Yeah, what if there's like a little kid that hasn't gone around Dumbo
Yeah,
yet?
you
How
want to
about
sum it
that?
up really quick?
Right.
Yeah. This is a quick synopsis of the plot of Dumbo.
All right, go.
All right. A young circus elephant is born with comically large ears and given the cruel nickname of Dumbo. One day at a show, he is taunted by a group of kids, inciting his mother into a rage that gets her locked up. After Dumbo's ears cause an accident that injures many of the other elephants, he is made to dress like a clown and perform dangerous stunts. Everything changes when Dumbo discovers that his enormous ears actually allow him to fly, and he astounds everyone at the circus with his new talent. So, that's the short version.
I think you kind of eliminated one factor of that, but okay.
Which one would that be?
He just magically learned how to fly. I think somebody taught him how to fly.
You mean
Yes.
like a mouse?
Yeah,
Like a Disney mouse?
like a mouse, but he had help. He had help.
He did.
Yeah, support.
He had support.
Yeah. He had a little magic feather to help him out as well.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
that feather from somewhere.
Who gave him the feather?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's not in my notes. I'll let
We
Lee
don't want to
handle
give
that.
it away and spoilers and
Just-
Lee.
Well, it's a bird's feather, so
Okay.
there's that.
Anytime you want, just sum that right up. All right.
All right.
All right.
That's that.
I just figured you want to get it out of the way.
So too.
I actually don't even have it in my notes at all. So, again,
So he did it. I was right. He did take it out. Like, that never happened. I don't know.
Just eradicate
Man,
it.
just like Disney Plus, huh?
Wow.
Dang.
well, I mean, that could probably be a show in and of itself one day.
Cancel Crows. Canceling Crows. The new band.
Oh, I was about to say, that sounds like an awesome band
I
name.
like it. Mr. Disney
A new channel on our YouTube channel.
Oh, my God.
Canceling Crows.
I like it. At least sings the songs.
All right, go ahead, Lee.
All right, yeah, please,
All right.
please. Where you want to go?
So originally, Dumbo was a book. This wasn't. This is one thing I not being a person that grew up in all of the Disney lore, and like you guys grew up going to Walt Disney World and probably knowing some of all these little backstories and things like that. Like I guess I never realized that Walt Disney Corporation itself did not necessarily like just write all these stories and all these movies. These came from fairy tales and adapted from this story and that story, and that's the same thing for Dumbo. This was originally a book which was written by Helen Aberson and her husband Harold Pearl. Helen wrote the story and Harold was the illustrator. The story of Dumbo is one of perseverance, heavily influenced by Helen's experience as a first-generation Jewish Russian-American whose family struggled to deal with poverty and bigotry, trying to make their way in the new country.
Interesting. Yeah, very apropos too.
Yeah. So Harold and Helen had planned on publishing Dumbo as a novelty book. There was a gentleman named Everett Whitmire who invented and patented a rolling book. He created a company called Roller Book Publishers, Inc., and this concept was basically a book that rolled as the story progressed. So if you can imagine kind of like a box with two little knobs at the top and a scroll that you would scroll through the book as opposed to flipping pages.
I think I used to have one of those.
Oh, really? Okay, so
I do.
This is something really new to me. Like I don't remember this at all. And
It wasn't like a whole big book, but it was like something that you would roll through and the story would unfold. Like you wouldn't just read it; it would have like effects and pictures and stuff like that. It's been a while, but I do believe I used to have a toy. Don't know if it was made during the time when I was younger or if it was just one of those old toys that kind of get passed on. But
I was
yeah,
gonna say, like you
Sure.
inherited it.
I may have inherited it.
But so Everett Whitmire was approached by Helen and Harold to publish this story using his rolling book concept. And Kevin, I'll give you a picture if you want to include it in the show notes, like kind of like a figure of how it worked.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Magicory.com. That's where you can find it.
All right, cool. So before that book could be published, though, Whitmire sold the story to Walt Disney along with all the book publishing rights. Walt saw basically the potential in the story of Dumbo and quickly worked a deal with Helen and Harold. And while the rolling book of Dumbo never actually made it to print, there are several prototypes that were created. And you can actually find the galley of proofs. They're housed in the Bird Library at Syracuse University. So there was also an illustrator that worked at Rolla Book Publishers named Helen Durney. So different Helen here. She did the illustrations for the mock-up, for the Rolla book and things like that. And she was also involved initially with the concept art for Walt Disney's Dumbo. And as long as we're talking about the book, there was a book published in 1941 to coincide with the movie's release, and once again in 1947 through a licensing agreement with Little Golden Books. And the story of Dumbo has not been out of print since 1947. There's always been some kind of a Dumbo book in print since 1947.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, that's cool.
And also, both Helen and Harold were shown as authors on the book until 1968, at which point the patent expired. And so later versions do not actually show them as the authors. But up until 1968, Helen Aberson and Harold Pearl were both credited as authors of Dumbo.
Did they ever go on to do anything else?
I didn't read anything that they did. I don't know of anything else that they did. I mean, that's kind of weird because, you know, he was an illustrator, and she wrote that story. You'd think maybe she had done something later on. Maybe we need to research that a little and see if there is something out there by Helen Aberson. Now, one thing that I didn't realize was that the Walt Disney Studios were kind of in a little bit of a financial rut at this time. Disney Snow White was a huge success. This was the first full-length animated feature, and it proved basically that animation could be an art form. It wasn't just, little Sunday cartoon strips and things like that, and that you could have like an appreciation not just for kids but for adults also. So that success of Snow White really gave Walt the confidence when he went to create Pinocchio and Fantasia. Now, again, this was Walt's vision, that this would be the new art form, and he had big dreams for what he could do with animation and things like that. And he spent a lot of money on Pinocchio and Fantasia. At the time, they both cost over $2 million to produce. And just breaking that down for 2020, that's about $35 million that would have been spent to, and that's each for Pinocchio and Fantasia.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the films were not as big of a box office success, so they were not profitable. In addition to that, you've also got World War II happening in Europe, and that's taking away a lot of money from the European market. At that time, I believe that the European market counted for about 40% of Disney's audience.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seemed a little weird because I thought they were successes here, but they never were able to release the pictures overseas, so they could never recoup full expenses because those things were damn expensive to make.
Right. And not to just that, but Walt had just invested a lot of money in the new Burbank studio.
Sure.
And on top of all that, then came the infamous writer's strike at Walt Disney World as well. So there was a lot of financial problems going on with Walt Disney at the time. So in comes Dumbo. It's our big-eared hero gets to help Walt out here. Now, once production started really rolling along, Helen Aberson was brought in as a consultant on the film, as well as her husband, Harold. I could never come across anything that would actually confirm how much Helen and Harold were paid. I only found mention of it in one article, which stated they were paid $1,000. Now, that seems very low. So I don't know how true that is, but that is I could only find mention of it in one article.
Well, apparently they never wrote another book, so I guess they did okay.
Yeah, it's just the option to write to make the movie out of it, though. So it probably would be low. I guess it depended on what they would have made after making Dumbo, which could have been much if they had all this trouble.
Well, I mean, either way, Walt paid them for the rights to the movie, and obviously he made a lot more off the movie than what he paid them. So,
that's the point. Yeah,
yeah, that's business. That's supposed to be, right? Yeah, and actually, Bambi would have been the next movie to be released, except for the time that it took to finish Bambi and the time that it took to finish Dumbo. Dumbo was finished first, but Bambi was actually set to be the next movie. But with this, they could get a little more of a quick turnaround, and there's a couple reasons for that. It's actually only 68 minutes long. I think it's maybe 62 minutes without credits, so depending on, how you want to put that, but call it an hour, basically. It's the whole picture is only about an hour. So obviously it's a short movie, so it's a lot, less money to make it. But I found this interesting on this website called Tor.com, Tor.com. They talk about some of the money-saving measures that Walt used when he talks about Dumbo. Okay, one of the things that they did was they allowed the animators to turn in photostats of sketches for review as opposed to full layouts. I'm not sure what all that means, but obviously saved some money.
It's sketchy.
Sketching, okay, cool. But according to Tor.com, nearly every aspect of this film was focused on the concept of saving money. Thus, the film used watercolor backgrounds instead of oil and gouache. I don't know if that's what... I had to look that up how to say that, but it's spelled Gouache.
Yeah, it's a type of paint.
Yeah, it's a type of paint. Okay, cool. But I guess it's pronounced gouache.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah, he's right.
Okay.
I looked it up. I wanted to make sure that I didn't look like an idiot, but...
Well, I mean, good thing you have like two visual artists here that could actually help you with that.
Yeah.
So
I didn't look dumb in front of Eli.
Is there something about gouache that's...
gouache. That's like that baba ganoush shit you get when you go to the Mediterranean. No, I don't.
I thought
Tabasco on
I thought that's stuff you get at a Mexican restaurant.
Oh, is that?
It's good. It's good. It's good with lamb.
Guacamole?
Guacamole. Is there anything special about why they call it gouache? Is it just...
It's just from where it came from. It's French. It has the ability to retain water. Okay. So if you like a lot of times with paint, like the traditional paint, you have to go ahead and how they see them, you keep dipping it, and then they go ahead, they have to put finishing on it and all this other stuff to keep stretching the paint out. Well, gouache, since it's watercolor, it doesn't bubble up. If you apply a lot of it,
so it's a water-based paint that doesn't bubble up.
Right. So it dries faster, so you can lay another coat of paint to add for shading. Like in this case, since the backgrounds, if you notice in the backgrounds, Dumbo, right, everything's kind of dark. It's not like a lot of gradients. There's no, here's a lighter color and then here's a darker color for background. Right. It's more like a flat kind of surface. So it's quicker to paint.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if that made the process cheaper for them.
It did, because it's instead of having to apply, say, 6 colors, you only need to apply 3.
That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
I learned something. Oh, sorry.
Every now and again, Crayola College comes in handy.
Not for jobs or money or anything like that. No.
No. But for imagination, there you go.
Yeah.
That's you and Doucet specially place.
Yeah, exactly. Man.
That's right.
That's my heart.
You and Doucet. That's right. That's right.
All right. So this was a money-saving alternative Disney would return to decades later for Lilo and Stitch. With the exception of a few brief moments here and there, with the storks, a circus parade, a few elephant scenes, a trippy elephants, and crows, animators ensured that only 2 or 3 characters were on the screen at any one given time, reducing the technical issues that had beset animators trying to animate 30 or more characters and object at once. Even when the script required multiple characters, animators employed additional tricks, ensuring that only the heads of elephants could be seen in one scene, for instance, or animating only the shadows of the characters.
Yeah.
A trick that not only worked visually, since it allowed most of the human planning and plotting to happen in the shadows, but it also meant that animators did not have to draw nearly as many lines. The famous pink elephant sequence, an animation highlight, was planned less as a surreal, innovative, and occasionally terrifying animation sequence and more of a cost-saving device. It only needed simple, single-color backgrounds.
Well, there you go. Less is more.
Money saved. Money saved.
Well, and not only that, I mean, like in the earlier films, I mean, the animation was realistic, and by the time you get to Dumbo, it's all caricature and cartoony.
Right.
You know, even the human characters are caricatured and simplistic. Exactly. Yeah. You didn't have the detail that you would have gotten in Snow White or in Bambi or anything like that.
That's intriguing.
No, it's pretty
so intriguing.
It's pretty awesome to think that you could cut back on everything and then still make something. Yeah, that
story trumps all.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say in this case
you're
that
right,
I like
right.
that. Oh, you said Trump's not trunk.
No, I said trumps.
Story trunks all.
Yeah, trunks all. There you go. But yeah, that's weird how that works because like Lee was saying they had the animator strike, right?
Yes.
So I mean, that thing could have essentially been shut down had they not had more inventive methods to produce it, or to create the art for it.
Well, you say
So do you feel like they had maybe less experienced animators as well? Like, did they have to call in? I guess they call them scabs, or no, it was a writer's strike. Was it an animator strike? I lost my.
No, it was an animated strike as well.
Yeah.
Because I mean, some of the clowns in the scene are meant to represent those animators that were on strike,
Right.
Not writers.
Yeah,
That's
they
crazy.
They're
Yeah.
making fun of them. Yeah.
Wow.
For asking for more
But
money.
well, they sing that whole song about going to the big boss for the raise, and that was, I guess, that was included as kind of a jab at the ones that were on strike, thinking they were going to try to get some more money out of Walt.
But I do think that this was the passing of the torch to the 9 old men. I think Dumbo kind of represented that kind of passing of the torch, where all these other people were gone, and the 9 old men really kind of took over from there.
Yeah.
That's all very intriguing. Holy God. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's always. I like the background
This
of the
is such a-
creation of the item.
No, from the gouache to that to the strike and everything. This is I'm intrigued. This is thick.
like
thick and
Thick and veiny.
Yes,
all up
and
in there.
throbbing
Yeah.
and stuff, man. This is crazy. So much going on.
It's a lot happening.
Throbbing with tension.
I mean, it's so much,
God.
It's dropping.
And then it's
With
just all,
tension. you missed the best
Yes,
word.
right.
With tension.
With tension, yes.
Tension.
Hear my whole phrase, please.
Yes.
Apologize.
Well,
All right, Lee.
please, Lee, continue with this
Don't leave Kevin throbbing.
with tension.
Release it.
Release the tension.
We got a situation here, Lee.
Yes.
So come on,
Release
bring
the
it.
Kraken.
Let's go.
so all of those money-saving techniques and the little cuts here and there, that allowed this movie to be produced in about a year and a half, which at the time, all these other productions with Snow White, Pinocchio, those all took like 5 years
Yeah.
to create those movies.
I heard
But
Bambi was in the works for like 9 years.
really, yeah, maybe
Oh my
from start to
gosh.
finish.
Yeah, but look how detailed that was.
Yeah,
There you go.
my understanding was the fire scene especially was very took a lot of work, and of course all the little animals. There were lots of little animals and things like that. So yeah, that's why Dumbo came out before Bambi did.
That's deep.
So in some ways, you could probably say that Dumbo kind of saved Walt Disney. I mean, not that maybe something else wouldn't have come out later they would have saved them or they would have done well with or whatever, but at this time when they needed the money, Dumbo was able to accomplish that.
Yeah.
At the time, it profited over $850,000, and I'm not sure if that was enough to eliminate all the debts from from the 2 previous movies, but I'm sure that it put a lot of investors' minds at ease.
Sure.
So, $850,000 again in today's numbers, that's about 14 million, almost $15 million in profit.
But considering again what they did to Skimp on the production of it, that's really good.
And still maintain the quality of that story because I love that story.
Exactly.
Well, it's just great storytelling. It's the underdog story, believe in yourself, because the feather, that's what you needed to do to get Dumbo to have the confidence to fly, but he didn't need the feather to fly. Just like,
How did he get the feather?
Yeah, when are we going to get to that part?
it's a magic feather.
It's magic. So he went on a quest to get
He
it.
get it. He went with the hobbits.
Right.
Yeah, he
the
went to
4-hour
Hogwarts
trial.
and from the Phoenix he got the feather from the tail.
right.
I was burning up.
He talked to Professor X. He gave him astral
right.
projection of where the feather was.
Beautiful, yeah.
Awesome. That's not how it happened. Come on, tell him how he got it.
And then Iceman and Fire Woman, whatever her name is, Starfire came in and shot down.
Right,
and,
they fought the scroll.
and Submariner came up and he said, "Here, I caught the feather."
Yeah, because he had a feather right there on the ankle of his foot.
I
And he
must
said, "Here you
apologize.
go."
My daughter's back into watching Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
Tell
Good
your
for you.
cartoon,
You're raising
so,
her
yes.
right.
Tell your daughters
Yes.
they awesome.
I told him that, and I was like, I have no problem you watching that.
God bless them. God bless them.
I remember all the. Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
you're
Go,
going to
go,
make
go.
me take a segue actually really quick.
No, I do apologize for that, but that
Yeah.
Disney property now. But
You
it's okay.
said Marvel. You got
I
me
watched
all
it on
up in
Disney
there.
Plus, but all right,
We're
so-
bringing it back. Yeah.
We're bringing it back. All
Did
right.
we say
so
what happened to the feather?
No, he didn't say
No,
what happened to the
no,
feather.
Did we get the
Come on.
feather? No
He
feather.
got it from Ben Franklin on the quill. What?
Pulled it from the stone. He was worthy.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what happened.
that's what it is. Yeah.
That's it.
Is that what happened,
The
Lee?
feather chose him.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, because the prince came up with the feather and
That's
slipped
right.
it on his foot. You
And
know what I'm
Merlin
saying?
said,
That's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
How about a few miscellaneous other movie facts and trivia for the Dumbo movie?
Oh,
Other than the feather. Okay.
okay.
Other than the feather.
No feather.
Outside of the feather.
Outside of the feather.
Okay.
Featherless facts.
Featherless fact.
Featherless facts.
Cashless podcasters.
It was like the question. I was like, I helped him fly.
I don't know the answers. I just asked the questions.
Questions, yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Help me.
In the original story, Miss Jumbo was actually named Mother Ella, but this was changed to honor the famous Jumbo from Barnum and Bailey Circus.
Because the famous elephant that was called
Like
Jumbo.
the world's largest elephant.
Right.
And, he was very famous. He would be in all of the Barnum and Bailey shows and things like that, which I didn't want to go off topic here, but if you want to like Google Jumbo the elephant, there's a lot of interesting stuff about him, and kind of like he was pretty much mistreated very badly. Just like in the original movie, he gave him alcohol to calm him down, and I guess the actual Jumbo elephant was a pretty crazy elephant. He had lots of fits of rage, and they would feed him champagne and other alcohol to calm him and things like that.
What do you mean that's mistreating him?
Yeah,
Well,
it's a party.
Pink elephants on parade, baby.
Hey, sparkles coming out the bottle and everything. Jumbo, this for you.
You make it sound like he's working for Thomas Edison or something.
Alexander Graham Bell.
Keep electrocuting.
Stop giving Jumbo some champagne. He's trying to put the phone together.
Yeah.
You know, the best part is that I bet you that elephant remembered all of that. Because that's how elephants are.
They never forget.
They never forget.
You know what?
He
though?
knew all 12 steps.
He did. Except we forgot where he got the feather from.
I mean, like, real talk though, like elephants up close in the zoo. I mean, that's scary. I mean, those beasts.
How close have you gotten to an elephant when you work at the zoo?
I've had to go and work in Audubon. They have like an elephant barn. Like you don't see it as a public, but like they have the place where they train them. So I had to fix something in there once, and you see them up close, like. That's scary. Like if that thing was like, you know what, I'm tired of this. There's nothing you can do.
And so that
to
elephant
stop
looked
it.
at you. You better fix my Wi-Fi.
Oh no,
or else I'm gonna sit on you.
Exactly.
Is that what that elephant
I was
said?
like, don't trunk me. Don't trunk me like that.
You lucky I'm a good friend.
Why?
Because when Kevin said, how close have you gotten to an elephant? I was going to say I was married to one before.
I can't say to that. You're a good friend whether you say that or not.
That was a blonde-haired elephant too.
Oh my god! You got that damn name.
Actually,
That boy good. That boy good.
I saw her when I ain't gonna say names.
Yeah.
I saw her and she's skinnier than Eli now.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, that is absolutely true.
Oh, well, good for her.
Yeah, good, absolutely good.
Yes.
Good for her.
Yeah.
So that's why I felt okay to make the joke because it
I'm not
doesn't apply anymore.
I'm not upset at all. It was good.
Lee, we're gonna have to send you a picture one day
Oh my goodness.
so you know
Is she
what's
still
up.
Yeah, that's pretty constant. That's, I don't know if that's going to be on the
a
air or not.
Yeah, you can change the paint on the house, but the interior is pretty much
still
gonna
the
stay
same.
the
Look,
same.
when the I don't think this will make the cut, but when the current husband tells the ex-husband, "I see why you did that." Well, that says a lot.
What?
Yeah,
save me, Eli, save me.
I like you on your own. You on your own, Mr. Ex-married friend. That's what you got, huh? You thought the package looked good. Now you got the gift
Wait,
wrap.
you said pachyderm? What?
Yeah, the pachydermy.
Oh, speaking of pachyderms, Lee, Dumbo.
Dumbo, fellas, how you doing?
It's gone.
Animate.
Back in.
Alrighty. A couple more little movie facts here. Time Magazine actually was prepared to put Dumbo as their Man of the Year cover at the end of the year. They were actually going to call it the Mammal of the Year.
Clever.
Walt Disney actually already provided a black and white drawing for the cover and all that. But before the issue could be published, that was when the Japanese would attack Pearl Harbor.
Damn politics.
Damn it.
And so they had to rework that whole issue. They had 3 days to totally rework that issue, and General Douglas MacArthur would end up being the Time Man of the Year. But they did still include Dumbo in that issue, gave him a 1,400-word write-up in that issue. So
Very
he
nice.
still was in there,
Okay.
just not on the cover.
Just not the mammal of the year. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Right, just not the Mammal of the Year.
Who was the
this
Mammal
was
of the Year, by the way?
Who was the Mammal of the Year?
Yeah.
Well, that
Was Flipper? Was Flipper?
I thought it was Coco. Shamu the gorilla? No.
Shamu, get
Jumbo?
get it. Body Joe Young.
Robin Williams. What?
Oh, yeah, they didn't go for King Kong. Major.
I went for the 40s. I went for the 40s part.
All right, come on, Lee, moving along.
This was the first Disney movie that was set in the United States.
Ah.
Which was, of course, in where?
Florida.
Kirk's house.
Florida. No, not on the bayou.
Whose house? Kirk's house.
Dumbo on the bayou.
Dumbo on the bayou. Hey, Dumbo on the bayou. Hey, to my share. Dumbo on the bayou.
Gonna have some fun on the bayou.
Yeah.
They would have cooked Dumbo's ass. They would have ate him.
Yeah, fly your ass out this pot. There you go.
No, those Cajuns got respect for elephants, man.
Yeah.
They respect the elephants.
They'll eat an alligator, but not an elephant.
Yeah, alligator ain't stand a chance.
No.
Your boy from Tiana? Nope.
I need new shoes.
That's right.
This was also the only Disney movie to which the main character has no lines. So he has no speaking. Dumbo has no speaking parts throughout the whole movie.
That's
Never
awesome.
speaks.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's true.
I'm
Like,
glad to hear that it was a fact because I thought I was tripping as a kid when I saw it because it was like, yeah, even in the books, he does it. You know, it's just a cool illustration
Yeah.
of him. But I was like, yeah, he don't say nothing.
well, Timothy does a lot of his, I guess, exposition, right?
Right.
Right.
Well, technically, he's like a baby, right?
Yeah, that's true. He is a baby.
I guess I don't know what it is in elephant years.
He
The
lived in a
elephants, yeah, that's the elephants did talk, like Mrs. Jumbo talked, and
Right.
the little catty
Yeah.
gossip circle of other
Yeah, those
elephants.
little chicken freaking making
Yeah.
fun of Dumbo. Those
There's not a work site alive that don't have 4 of those girls at the copy in the kitchenette talking.
You heard what the Stoic said happened when you dropped down Dumbo to
I
go
ain't
to
even
Miss
talking.
Dumbo?
No.
I knew that she wasn't right.
terrible. Those elephants are terrible. I wanted to slap every one of them.
There you go.
And look, remember this. Terrible.
Terrible. Good and terrible.
And then at the end, they want to be friends with her. Oh, you all rich. Oh, you got all the money. Oh, I want to be in your cabin in the train. Oh, I'm so friends with you. Yeah, f*** you. Where the hell were you earlier?
Right.
When
When
I
I
was
was
messing
down.
my son.
Huh? When this
Easy,
dog
Kevin,
dropped him off-
easy.
God, that used to make me so angry when I watched that. It's
I
like,
feel
man,
the
you
passion.
don't deserve any of this.
Oh.
Miss Jumbo doesn't have to do anything for you guys.
That's right. She ain't got to do shit but retire, be an elephant.
Kevin
Yes,
went
right.
from throbbing to spewing.
No, boy. That's the tension you're talking about.
I just let it out.
Yes,
I just
you
let-
did.
I
You
let
got it all out.
I
I
like
feel
it.
better now.
I felt that rage.
Because those freaking,
I felt,
makes me mad.
Yeah, boy.
No, those pissing me off too.
Hoo-ah.
that's right. Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't deserve that money. I mean,
That's
she
it.
got the luxury caboose, and the
They're
four
the
women
ones-
are singing and like, "Oh, let me in your caboose." Oh, Dumbo's so awesome.
That's right.
Freaking f- you.
Like you want a piece of caboose, then you on them.
That's
That's
right.
what you do with
Where
that.
were you
Those-
when I needed you?
Yeah.
Those were the ones that named him Dumbo.
You're right.
Right.
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
it's like, what's his
It was
name?
Baby Dumbo. It was Baby
Yeah.
Dumbo.
Yeah,
No, more like Dumbo.
Jumbo, more like
Yeah.
Dumbo.
And you know, I loved it. Dumbo owned it, making bank with his name.
Yeah, I'm Dumbo. I'm
Yeah.
paid.
You
right.
gave me that name. What? What you gonna do? It's mine. I
Tell me
own it.
something. Tell me something.
Dumbo in the air, flinging dollar bills.
Out his ear.
Making it rain.
Flying through
Making it
it.
rain on them.
He's making it rain peanuts.
Like the crows made. Oh wait, we're not supposed to talk about that, right? The birds in the movie, they made fun of Dumbo as well, but then Timothy made him feel like trash, and then they felt sorry for him,
Yeah.
and then they did their best to help him.
They did.
Yeah. So they had sympathy for what he was going through. They didn't realize, oh shoot, yeah, we're kind of piling on this poor elephant here. But they didn't. Those other elephants, they made a solemn vow that he was never even going to be considered an elephant.
They made him, they made him a
Yeah.
clown.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so good, right? It's like that you feel for Dumbo, because like there you go, half of the movie they dogging him out, like give this poor elephant a chance.
That's right.
I
So
hear you.
Dumbo's like Mike Tyson, and then Timothy J. Mouse is like his old coach, right?
You'd say,
Oh, like Rocky and Mick.
Rocky
Yeah.
and Mick. That's right.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say because
Yeah.
Mike Tyson pretty much destroyed
Dumbo never hit
everything.
anybody's ear
Yeah.
off.
No.
Yeah, I'll take Rocky first. Rocky number 1 because he
Yeah.
lost.
I don't
Yeah.
think Don King qualifies as a Mick.
No, but his original Mike Tyson's original
No, mouthpiece
coach
though. I think that's what
was
he
the
said.
good the coach, wasn't it? He was responsible for making Mike win.
Was it
We're gonna
yeah.
take it.
Body?
Oh, you're
yeah,
talking about
yeah. I think that's right.
Yeah.
But then after he passed, and he
Right.
got new coaches, he was just
Casamado. That's what-
Casamado. No, that's
That's what
it.
it-
Yeah. There's
Where the
Casamado.
hell I get Giamatti from? It sounds good.
All Italian.
Sounds-
All
sound the
Italian
same, right?
names sound the same. It's all right.
That's right.
I'm used to your
It's
racism.
okay. We sharing in it. I got called Mutombo just yesterday.
Oh
What?
Lord, that's how much.
What the hell? Listening
Well, was it in bed?
No.
How about some orange juice?
Oh, you know.
Oh Lord.
Oh man,
That's just because it was 7 foot tall.
that's it.
Oh.
See, that's why. There you go, right there.
Wingman.
Good for it. There it is.
Wingman of the
There
year.
you go, spotting it.
That's right.
There you go, tension.
Lee,
Lee.
All right.
Lee Douglas.
your mom's listening to this.
Couple last minute things.
Mama
on the
Vika,
movie,
come on
so-
the show. We love
Mama,
you.
you see, this is-
We want to hear you, Mama
This is
Vika.
what we work with, Mama Vika. Why doesn't he take more initiative? Come on.
Talk about the feather. I still want to know about the feather.
Yeah, I do want to know.
I don't know if you want
Take the feather in a minute if you'd like.
You want?
Let me just a couple quick more. Couple
All right, go ahead,
last
sir.
minute.
Okay.
The song "Baby of Mine,"
Uh-huh.
which was obviously a very famous song from that movie, was nominated for an Academy Award,
Mm-hmm.
but did lose to the song "The Last Time I Saw Paris" from the movie "Lady Be Good," which I never heard of, but I heard of Dumbo, so I don't know why they lost.
Wait,
So that movie-
what was the name of this movie? Lady Be Good?
"Lady Be Good," and the song was called "The Last Time I Saw Paris."
Oh.
That was what won the Academy Award for Best Song that year.
They probably because that was a real actors versus an animated feature, so they probably
Either
know
way,
how to handle
yeah.
You
that.
know, everyone still knows who Dumbo is. Nobody knows who Lady Be Good is.
No, you're right. I
know-
heard
I know Johnny Be Good, yeah. Maybe that's Lady Be Good's. Is that his cousin?
Maybe
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
It's your cousin Chuck Berry.
Dumbo was also
Marvin.
the first.
Mom, you talking about the sound you want?
Yeah, listen to this. I met that guy in person.
Did you?
Yes.
Marvin Berry?
Yes.
No kidding.
Hey, that was not the real Marvin Berry in the movie. That was an actor.
Wait,
No, I'm
was it-
talking about the actor. I met the actor.
the actor who played Marvin
okay.
Berry.
Yeah.
Was it the elephant compound?
Because I don't even know that there is a Marvin Berry.
No, I'm sorry. I met the actor a long
Right.
time ago.
Where'd
yes.
you meet him at?
I went there, this was a little after Katrina. And,
Sorry, Lee, this is more important.
Yeah.
Good.
And
was it a bathroom stall and he was tapping?
I need to talk to you. Listen to this. I taught a comic class a long time ago, and it was some people from the Joe Mitchell Foundation in New York.
Uh-huh.
They were bringing a bunch of actors, and he was one of them to to see how things were working in New Orleans or whatever. And I looked at him. I was like, and he's like, you don't have to say it. He's like, you don't have to say it in live. But it was cool. It was cool.
Oh, well, that's cool. All
Cool.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad you got to do that.
Glad to do that segue. You don't hear that too often.
I'm going to look
yeah.
up his filmography when we're done.
He
I'd
did
like to
What
know
a Country with Yakov Smirnoff.
He did What a Country? That was a movie? I
That
thought
was a TV show.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it about an elephant?
Unfortunately not.
Can we talk about a movie about it?
Yeah, let's talk about
Yeah,
the
we
movie
should.
about
Yes,
elephant.
I'm sorry.
What about Dumbo?
Hey, that's a good
What else you
one.
got about the movie? Lee?
Dumbo was the first Disney movie released for home viewing on VHS.
When?
So there you go.
Thank you, Michael Eisner.
Yeah, that's good. Back when did you have Did you ever have Betamax?
I did have Betamax.
We had Betamax too. We bet on the wrong concept at the time. We were like, let's go with Betamax. They're like, nope.
Yeah, but
VHS.
but what's funny about that is that it was summer of 1981 is when it first got released to home video, video cassette. And this was the first time that movie has ever been offered as a take-home version. You could get.
Oh,
it
wait,
as
that was
rentals.
81?
This was 81.
That
yeah.
predates Eisner.
Yeah,
I was wrong.
81. When Betamax and VHS were having the thing, they released that movie for the first time for purchase to take home. Up until then, it was all for rental. You couldn't do nothing but rent it or go to the theaters like maybe Lee did and watch it again in a big screen. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. Yeah, 81 was the first time they did that, and it happened to be released at the same time with the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
All right, so before we leave the movie, we do need to talk about the crows, as everyone has alluded to up to this point.
The elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room.
I see what you did.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very smooth.
What crows? I didn't notice.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple of crows in this movie that are a certain color. if you didn't know that. What color are the crows in this movie?
The color of every crow that lives.
Yeah, they're
What color is
black.
any crow?
Now you're being cautious.
Yeah.
I don't know a
But,
crow of any other color.
Yeah, I've never seen a yellow crow, honestly.
I've been done seen about everything. Yeah, white crow fly.
Oh boy, oh boy. All right.
Oh man.
Tell us all about these
Let's do
crows
it. Lay it on us.
that happen to be black.
They happen to be black.
Yeah, because of all the colors of the different crows, right, Lee? These happen to be
The crows and,
rainbow
and
crow.
and the way they spoke and all that. Let's go.
They could have chose toucans or something, but they chose crows. So,
Because toucans are plentiful in the United States, apparently.
especially in
it
Florida.
might be in Florida. It could be.
Yeah, that was imported. Toucans were imported. Come on.
They could have had macaws. How many macaws you see?
That's true.
How many in the tiki room? What?
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have had some eagles come down there.
Crows.
Could have happened. Crows.
All right.
Crows.
Jim
So-
Crows.
All right, so yeah, so to start with, the main crow's name is Jim Crow, which of course we all know from the Jim Crow laws,
That's right.
and
Well,
from the civil rights era.
They've changed the name
changed
since.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, what did they change it to?
Dandy
You're asking
Crow.
us, really? I mean,
I'm asking you, what did they change it to?
yeah, Dandy Crow.
Dandy Crow.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is not my show. It's
Dandy Crow.
Okay, hold on. Well, let me back up. Then. They changed the name of Jim Crow in the movie to Dandy Crow.
He was no. He was never named Jim Crow in the movie. He was named Jim Crow on the model sheet. Some animator
Yes.
in a model sheet just wrote down the name Jim Crow. I
Right.
can't imagine it was a name approved and
Right.
by Walt Disney for use in the film. None of the crows actually are ever referred to by a name.
No, they changed it in the 50s to avoid any problem.
In fact, I don't even think Timothy Mouse is referred to by his name. I think
That
the only
is
time you
true.
see
That was-
his name is on
Yeah.
the paper at the end.
Right. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually one of the facts. So thank you for pulling that out. So yeah, but they are obviously like a representation of like a minstrel show.
What's a minstrel show?
Hold on. Did I say that word right?
I'm just going to
I
let you
said it
hate
wrong.
yourself. I don't mean to sound it like that, but
No, sounded like that. What's a
it's-
minstrel show?
What's a minstrel show?
I wasn't alive back then, but my understanding is that they were, at that time, actors that were white actors that would paint their faces black and then do these musical review shows. So, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So the main crow of the group was voiced by a white man named Cliff Edwards, but the rest of the group was they were all from the Hall Johnson,
The Hall of Presidents.
Oh,
all the presidents. They were all from
Arsenio
And all-
Hall's Choir. Yes.
The Dog
Hands
Pound.
are gone. Yes.
The Dog Pound. Oh, ooh, 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 ooh. All right.
no, it's Monty Hall.
Hall and Oates.
You could Hall and Oates.
The Halls of Mentalitis. All right, Lee, go ahead. Sorry. Go.
but the rest of the gang were voiced by I guess they're band is not the right word, right? But they were a show performers from the Hall Johnson Choir, an all African
Choir would
American.
probably be the better
Choir's
word.
the-
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
that's
choir. Yeah,
Choir's a
yeah,
good choice.
choir.
Yes.
The Hall Johnson Choir, and they were all African American.
That's it.
Okay, so some of the members, the actors are James Baskett, who's from Song of the South,
Very talented.
Yeah.
and
Carol Baskin's husband.
Wow.
well, that's Baskett, not Baskin.
Baskin as in Robbins, not
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
I
crazy.
saw Tiger King too. Now
Gotcha.
I got you on that one. Yeah, so James Baskett, like Hank Baskett, the football player.
Okay.
And he plays Fats Crow.
Yes.
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 Okay. And then, so that's one of the voices from Song of the South. And then, of course, there's Nick Stewart, who was on a show called The Amos and Andy Show, which was...
A very big show.
I should call my mom and put my mom on a recording to see what she thought. She loved that show.
That's a very big show.
That was a huge show. That was one of the few shows where African Americans got to be the star of the
Right.
show.
the heyday of television, and it's like,
Yes.
Amos and Andy's in that mix.
Yes, my
there's
mom.
there's no doubt.
My mom actually when VHS came out, I remember we went to some store, and I remember she bought the volumes of that show for me to watch when I was younger. So yeah, it was a big deal.
Good for them
back then. So again, yes, there were some other African Americans that took part in the portrayal of the voices for the Crows.
Yes. In addition to Nick Stewart, who we're talking about, he's the one who plays Specs Crow, with the ones with the little glasses.
Yeah,
the glasses on.
Yeah.
Then Hall Johnson, who the choir is named after, he's the one who played the Deacon Crow.
Oh, well, appropriate. Yeah, there you go.
Ah.
Yeah.
And then Jim Carmichael is the one who played Dopey Crow.
Now, also...
So I bet you didn't know that there were 2 Disney characters named Dopey.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
no, that's awesome.
And then, like, on top of that, the animator... his name was
Ward Kimball.
Mm-hmm.
So what he used was African American dancers. There was Freddie and Eugene Jackson. I love Freddie Jackson. I love me some Freddie Jackson. And so yeah, he used them as a point of reference to draw for the animation of those characters. And most of their personalities and stuff were based on cats like Cab Calloway, Louis Armstrong, Karina Longworth. So it's kind of a weird, slippery slope, right?
Yeah,
because it's like it's based upon characters that they're saying is being stereotypical, but the characters are based upon the styles and the talents of African Americans during that time.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, because a lot of what they're slammed for in Jim Crow, that's kind of been defensible. But like I said, that was probably some animator on a sheet of paper somewhere.
Around trying to get it down.
Yeah, so that one guy, and you'll never know who he is. But that never appeared in the film. As to why Walt Disney actually cast a white man as the voice of the lead crow, Dandy Crow, Cliff Edwards, who and we know Walt liked to use the same actors over and over again.
Right, that's people.
Sterling Holloway, who played the stork in the movie.
Yes,
you hear him as the voice of the Cheshire
Disney
Cat.
legend. Yeah. It's the Disney rule of 3, right? They get you for 3 things in your contract.
Right. Well, Cliff Edwards was the voice of Jiminy Cricket and sung the iconic "When You Wish Upon a Star."
Yeah.
So every single time you go to Disney Park and you hear that song, that's Cliff Edwards. Why he thought he was right for this part, I don't know. I think that's been lost to history. I've never seen anything in any of my research on it, Lee.
It's like, I need you to do one more thing for me. You've done 2 things. I need you one more thing.
What do you want me to do?
We got this project. Won't you just voice this? It won't take much. I'll set you up for the studio tomorrow. How about
Sounds
that?
great. What's the character?
Who am I playing?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. After you're done...
No, I need to feel the emotion and the motivation.
After you're done, you have the freedom to do whatever project you want. But
Really?
Up until that, at the 3rd time, you're done.
Is that easy?
It's
Is
a
it that
Disney
easy
3, baby.
character?
That's right. Disney 3, and you're off my contract.
I shouldn't have no problems doing this character,
cool.
right?
That sounds good. Yeah. So you'll be in L.A.
You'll be remembered forever.
That's right.
I promise you, kid.
That's what I want. Immortality.
Yeah. So be in L.A. at 3 p.m. We'll set you up, and you'll be done in 10 seconds. It's so easy.
Sounds good. That sounds like the best opportunity I could ever have. I want to be famous.
And then you're free. You'll be free to do whatever project you want.
I love it. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Just call me Uncle.
Thanks, Tom.
No, that's not right. That is not right.
Leave that out. Yeah.
No, that's staying in there,
That's it
sir.
there now, buddy.
I think it's my turn to edit.
Your attention must
I
be
didn't
broken
mean
down.
Uncle Tom.
Your attention.
I didn't mean Uncle Walt. Yeah, no, Uncle Tom. Yeah.
He said Walt, and he said, well, I ain't going to say what he said. But just,
I should have said Walt behind it. Do you want to put that back in the edit?
No, that's perfect the way it is.
Okay.
Don't whitewash history.
Just dance around.
No kidding, right?
Yes. Speaking of Cliff Edwards, so why don't we just take a brief moment to mention this, because I thought that this was kind of a sad element to this story, is that here's this guy who voices Crow, who just so happened to be the iconic voice of Jiminy Cricket, and the main song that you hear every single time that you associate When You Wish Upon a Star with Disney, and this guy died kind of tragically. When he died, he was like penniless and poor.
Oh.
And he was a charity patient over at a hospital in California, and his body was even unclaimed. It was donated to the University of California Medical School. And so when Walt Disney Productions found out about it, because they were kind of quietly paying his medical expenses, because he had issues, he had problems, they offered to purchase his remains and pay for his burial.
Oh my gosh.
But instead it was done by the Actors Fund of America. So yeah, Disney paid for his grave marker, but the man died like destitute. Dude.
Well, that's a dark
Oh.
ending.
It really
Talk about
is.
cashless. That's a
For
shame.
when you
was
was Jesus, Kevin, I'm trying to bring some
brevity.
what do you call it, gravity to the situation.
Cashless. No, I'm serious. I'm not joking.
You know what? I'm feeling the tension now.
I'm
They give you
serious.
transfer. I'm like, wow.
Damn.
I'll just go back to
No,
throbbing.
you good. You are. I'm throbbing now. I'm like, holy crap. Cashless.
No, but that's a damn shame. man.
CMB,
That's a
baby.
damn shame.
CMB. CMB. That's what I'm talking about.
So that's how Dandy Crow died.
I'm sorry. No, you know what?
Right.
I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, like you said, like we were having the little
With-
skit, Kevin and I. mean,
With
that
thunderous applause.
that was a job he was doing. They were asking him to do a voice of a character.
Yeah.
And it goes many layers beyond as folks who, like you say, who drew him, who animated him. I mean, they could have taken the steps of, I don't know who, like Shirley Temple, let's say. You know, as far as like animated, they didn't have to base it upon like a Cab Calloway, who was like, you know, it was a big cultural deal back then. He was a great dancer. He was a talent, right? But they knew they wanted these characters to be flamboyant, positive, strong, free to do whatever they want. And these are the characters that they felt, whether it was voicing or animating or just influencing, to bring that forward.
Yeah.
Well, in the original story treatment, it was just going to be one large, rusty-looking crow is the way they described it, but it ended up turning out
One large?
one large,
Jeez.
rusty-looking crow.
Rusty Crow.
Rusty the Crow. Well, that was going to be what it was, and it was later expanded to a whole flock of crows, and that's how the Jackson brothers got involved, and all the different towns to help, bring those characters to life. But yeah, so that's
All them contributing to Dumbo's confidence to fly.
right.
Right.
Now that was not the last time the crows has been featured in a Disney presentation.
Oh,
Where
really?
else? Where
Yeah,
else?
the House of Mouse. Remember the old cartoon, House of Mouse?
no kid-
Where
yes.
it was like almost like a bar.
Was that like
Oh,
Ace of Base?
Oh, where they all hung out at.
Yeah,
Yes.
like it was like a little restaurant. They all had tables, and you would go there, and occasionally you just see these obscure Disney characters in the background. Well, there was a part there where the crows were on the House of Mouse.
Oh,
No
wow.
kidding.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah. That's awesome. No, that's freaking awesome.
And those characters would cause a lot of, not controversy necessarily, but as far as, controversy, but as far as like between artistic critics and talents in Hollywood,
Yes.
as far as like how they've been, portrayed and how they should
Interpreted and all that kind of
and all that
stuff.
stuff. So this is a conversation that's gone on for ages. So
Sure.
it's a huge part
Yeah.
of not only like Disney animation, but Disney culture and our culture as well.
I mean, it's Song of the South, The Crows. It's all
It's all
within that same
intertwined.
period of time. Yeah.
There is one more appearance by the crows. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh yes, you're right.
They were there.
That when
Jim Crow,
No, you're right.
or
You-
Dandy Crow, whatever you want to call them. Deacon and Specs can be spotted.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
so
wow.
many
Yeah.
of those guys in there. Yeah, I remember that because my youngest really loves that movie, so we watch that often, of course.
That's cool. It's cool.
And in Toonland, yeah, they're there. All
Yes.
those guys are there, man. I love it.
Yeah, so it just kind of goes to show. Even Kevin Michael Richardson was the one who voiced. He was a new voice of Dandy Crow in the House of Mouse episode where Donald was trying to fly, and he's like, I've seen everything, but I'll never see Donald fly, or something like that. I can't remember what it was. I saw it, but I mean, it just goes to show you that, yeah, this controversy has kind of gotten, it's more of a recent thing, that Disney was regularly using these characters. And by the way, Kevin Michael Richardson is a black actor. Voice actor, I should say. So, I mean, there you go. So they finally remedied that.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so
Okay.
where are you going to take
Well,
us now,
good.
Lee?
You can't beat that.
No, that's hard to top, but we're going to do one last thing as we segue into the Tim Burton live action remake. So there was supposed to be a Dumbo 2 direct to DVD in 2000 and never made it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that
So,
whole period
there's
we're
that.
doing the DVD
Right.
BS.
Right.
Jeez.
That will,
Dumbo
that-
2, Dumbo on the Move. Is that what it was? or-
Dumbo on the move.
Dumbo 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, no.
Dumbo 2 Electric Pink Elephants. But thank God that never happened. But what did happen was the Tim Burton live action remake. So, yeah, I mean, for a fan of the original movie, you gotta it's just such a disappointment.
I didn't not mind it. I had low expectations though, so I wasn't a big Dumbo fan. So I mean, maybe
that.
Go ahead.
And I mean, to some degree, I did too, because of course, nothing's going to top the nostalgia. For that one movie that's your absolute favorite Disney movie. So, did I think that I was going to love it as much as the original? No, I didn't think that, but it just went in a whole different weird direction for me. But
really, have you ever seen Tim Burton's work? It generally goes a whole different weird direction.
Have you ever seen Batman? Although that's the second best Joker I've ever seen. I give it.
Yeah. But so right around 2015, Disney started releasing several live-action remakes that basically no one asked for. But started out with Cinderella. Maybe you could say it was Maleficent, but really, like, Maleficent is to me a backstory or some character study. It's not really a remake. So to me, Cinderella was the first live-action remake. But anyway, so this would continue. Some were great. Jungle Book, I thought, was really good, but others were not so great, and I think this is one of them. This was released in March of 2019. It starred a lot of big-name actors: Colin Farrell, Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, Alan Arkin, just to name a few. But this story focused less on the Dumbo story and more on the dad and the circus and the power structures and all this other stuff that really didn't have a lot to do with Dumbo.
Well, it's because they didn't have talking animals in the movie. So they couldn't really focus on the animals when you've got people.
Yeah.
Right.
And what's with Michael Keaton? He's in, Tim Burton loves some Michael Keaton, huh?
And Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
Batman Returns, right there.
Batman Returns, you're right. I like Michael Keaton, too, but I
like Michael Keaton.
He good.
I like him in Gung Ho.
I like him multiplicity.
Is that random? I like him in not the founder, not Birdman.
Yeah.
Gung Ho.
Gung Ho. Hey.
It's like, I like that Tom Hanks at that bachelor party. Yes, that was awesome.
That's right.
Bunny Pit, classic. My chest is constricted.
Bosom buddies, yes.
So, do you feel that since it was without the talking, you felt like that when you heard that there was a remake of Dumbo coming out, where you like, man, I can't wait to see Timothy the Mouse all like CGI'd and everything. I can't wait to see it in this live part. Is that what got you? And then when you saw that these characters didn't exist, you were like, y'all killed me inside.
To some degree, yeah. I mean, I was interested to see what Tim Burton would do with the Dumbo story. But he didn't really do the Dumbo story. He did the first 20 minutes of the movie was the Dumbo story, and then he did whatever the hell else he wanted to, with the rest of the movie. So,
well, to be fair, the Dumbo story is a 60-minute movie.
It was only 62 minutes, right?
But they had a better budget to counterpoint. They had a better budget than back in 1940.
It was a 60-minute movie, and then they cut the mouse and the crows. They were down to 30.
Yeah, the 30 minutes, yeah. So
but they had.
I guess that's fair.
They had gouache.
They had gouache.
They had Guasho Joe.
Nice callback.
I like it.
All right, so this is a kind of the overview of what the story is about. Circus owner Max Medici, who's played by Danny DeVito, enlists Medici.
Quit slaughtering Italian names, damn it.
Circus owner Max Medici, who's played by Danny DeVito, enlists former star Holt Ferrier, who's played by Colin Farrell, and his children Mealy and Joe, to care for the newborn elephant whose oversized ears make him the laughingstock in an already struggling circus. But when they discover that Dumbo can fly, the circus makes an incredible comeback, attracting persuasive entrepreneur V.A. Vanderveer, played by Michael Keaton, who recruits the peculiar pachyderm for his newest larger-than-life entertainment venture, Dreamland. Dumbo soars to new heights along a charming and spectacular aerial artist, Colette Merchant, who's played by Eva Green, until Holt learns that beneath its shiny veneer, Dreamland is full of dark secrets. So, yeah, that's what it's about. And it's weird. I feel like they really gave a lot of jabs at Disney in itself in this movie. Like, is V.A. Vanderveer supposed to be Walt Disney?
No.
Like, it's kind of, well, he's kind of like, he has this whole Dreamland,
vision of a theme park and everything.
Theme park, yeah. This whole theme park set up, and all this other stuff. Now he's a circus owner, I guess, or it's like kind of like a circus performer. He's not a performer, but
No.
he puts together these performances and brings in all these different acts and things like that. But still, the whole thing's set up. Dreamland is set up like Walt Disney World.
Well, I mean, it's set up like an amusement park. I mean, is it easy assumption to be like, well, it's an amusement park, it's Disney? I mean, it could be Six Flags, it could be Universal, it could be King's Dominion, any of that stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
So, I mean, I see what you're saying. I see where you're going, and that it could be conceived as a subtle job, but it wasn't like the dude made cartoons for a living and animated a mouse and started a theme park based upon that mouse. He was like a cheesy, cheap, like carnival guy who was just developing something that the whole dream aspect of it may be. I don't know, but yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, Tim Burton's got a name. They get on his ass if he didn't do right. It's not like they're not known for firing directors or what I mean, if they don't set right.
Yeah, regardless of prestige.
Exactly. We don't care about that. We paid.
Will Smith was originally considered for the role of the father, which was again ultimately played by Colin Farrell. But he had a schedule conflict due to filming Bad Boys for Life,
which is an awesome movie. I just saw that.
I haven't seen
which
that.
is probably a good career move for Will Smith on that one.
We'll talk later, but oh my goodness.
I was going to ask you if you've seen that because I was going to rent it.
Literally, I just watched it last night.
Well, you said Will Smith wasn't available. What about Blacksmith?
Blacksmith.
F. Smith.
They asked me to go ahead and do it. I said, I'm Blacksmith. I go ahead and be in there. Well, you want me to go and be out there doing CGI? What about that? They said, we can't pay you enough,
I think
Blacksmith.
you just did a minstrel show.
Not really. I'm a black guy. And there was no dancing involved.
I don't have my glasses on.
I know we mix each other up sometimes.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, I don't see color. But
it was a minstrel show.
I hope not. I don't think it's that time of the month for me.
Oh my god!
Hey, you said it.
I know. I set it up like bowling.
Oh, like throbbing.
Like throbbing. Hey Lee, how about we throb on over to the parks, man? Can we talk about the attractions?
you want to do that? Okay.
I want to
skip the rest of them.
Well, was there more about like the?
There's just a few things. Tom.
All right,
I'll make it quick.
Oh yeah.
All right. Tom Hanks was considered for the role that Michael Keaton would play. There are instrumental versions of the songs Casey Jr., When I See an Elephant Fly, and Pink Elephants on Parade, all in the movie.
That's true.
And also, the boxing announcer, Michael Buffer, appears as a circus ringmaster.
Yep.
So instead of his trademark line, let's get ready to rumble, he says, let's get ready to Dumbo! Let's get ready for Dumbo!
I just like how he sold that, man. That's good.
I did it. Take you there, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
I wanted to say it,
Me too.
and we did it together.
We did.
and we pinch touched
What? Oh, you mean like we used the same
frequency.
It's like pinch poke, owe me a Coke.
It's like pitch perfect.
Yeah. No, I like Danny's better actually.
Okay, it's pinch poke, owe me. Okay.
Owe me some chocolate whiskey.
All right, drink all you want.
One last thing before we move to the attractions. I was doing a little research for the 2019 remake. I ran across something called Dumbo's Circus. Any of you guys heard of this? Because I never heard of this.
Yeah, the Disneyland thing.
Yeah.
No, it's a show.
Oh yeah.
Like it was like done in the Winnie the Pooh style.
Yeah,
like with the walk around characters.
Yeah, and they didn't have Timothy Mouse. Yeah, no. It was on the Disney Channel back in the 80s.
Right, yeah. Never heard of this, never seen this. It's kind of terrifying. The the Muppet puppets or whatever you call it, they were pretty bad. But
it was the 80s, the early 80s. I mean,
did you see some of the early walk around Dumbo characters?
Yeah.
You want to talk about scary?
I mean, the earlier walk around Mickey. Oh my god.
Yeah. That was one angry looking mouse.
No, but since you brought it up, so Lee, just so you guys know, it was running from May 6, 1985 to May 25th, 1986. And they had reruns all the way up until 1997.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so some interesting things. It followed the success of Pooh's Corner. They did a thing called Pooh's Corner on Disney Channel back in the day. Right. And a couple of things. There was no Timothy J. Mouse.
It was like a koala.
Yeah, there was a koala as a ringleader, but the character of Timothy J. Mouse was embodied in this lion, that was there.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
Did the lion eat him, or
No. It was just the lion was that kind of character, that charismatic character, and a notable.
You can do it, Dumbo.
Exactly. No. Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly how the line was.
Did he fly in this? Did Dumbo fly?
I don't remember if he flew because that would have been kind of hard with those puppets.
They just toss him in the air.
And the 80s green screen. But a familiar name that was involved with this project was Jim Cummings.
Ah.
He voiced one of the puppets. And it's funny because I read this article in Disney News where they talked about the mechanics of the puppets and how they did this thing. They didn't refer to it as green screen, but it was like the technology that allowed them to superimpose the circus tent behind them. And they're behind in front of the screen. But it was very interesting. Yeah, this is all on the Disney Channel. It did about 120 episodes, just like Pooh's Corner. So they're basically following the same formula as Pooh's Corner, which they did on Disney Channel.
Yeah. You watch like that Pooh's Corner now. I mean, the characters in there look like the Five Nights at Freddy's guys. I mean, it's really kind of creepy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Speaking of which, I saw that Banana Splits movie the other day. Oh my god,
there's a Banana Splits movie?
Yeah. Oh, y'all didn't hear about this?
No.
Y'all know about the Banana Splits, right?
I don't.
Yeah.
The Hanna-Barbera gang. Eli, you know every cartoon and TV show ever made. You don't know the Banana Splits.
No.
These are
Wow, look at this, the Banana Splits movie official trailer. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Well, that's trippy as
That
hell.
was from Hanna-Barbera. Well, what they ended up doing with those characters was they turned them into a horror movie where they go crazy and start killing children. Not killing children. Killing their parents in front of the children.
Oh,
like they dismember them in front of the kids, and then they take another and they saw them. And oh yeah, so the original Banana Splits, made like in the early '60s, '70s by Hanna-Barbera, got licensed to this company in some kind of a way where now they're the subject of a horror movie.
Holy crap!
I didn't read that contract very well.
Yeah, I saw that the other day. It was really kind of up.
That's a little disturbing.
It was
Yes.
very disturbing, but that did happen.
Oh my gosh!
You got to watch the trailer for it. You do. It's crazy.
All right, Lee, where are you taking us now, man?
All right, well, we're done talking about the movies of Dumbo. Let's talk about the attractions.
Yay!
And to start with, before we get to Dumbo, first we'll start with Casey Jr.'s Circus Train, which was an opening day attraction in Disneyland. This attraction gives passengers a tour of various miniature scenes from the original movie, kind of similar to Storybook Canals, kind of a slow-moving little fun ride.
Yeah. Did you know, Lee, that the Circus Train, Casey Jr., was supposed to be Disneyland's first roller coaster?
First roller coaster. I did not know that.
No, you did not know that. Well, then let me educate you. That was the original intention behind the Casey Jr. train. However, as they were testing it, concerns arose because one of the vehicles fell over backwards during the testing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
That's awkward.
that's not good to get a picture of, and they try and sell it back.
I think I can. I thought I could. I thought I could. Oops.
Yeah. So
That would have been cool, though. I would have dug that.
You would have got that right?
I would have gotten on it right. Well, I mean, without the falling backwards part.
Okay.
Without the death and dismemberment part.
Yeah. Maybe they didn't figure it out till Big Thunder Mountain. They're like, oh, yeah, this is how you do a train roller coaster.
Aha.
So then rather than setting themselves up for maintenance problems and lawsuits down the road, they shut down the attraction immediately after opening it.
Yeah.
And reworked a couple of the lift hills and down ramps, and then they reopened it about like 2 weeks later or something, and added like show elements to give you some stuff to look at along the ride, since it's no longer a roller coaster anymore.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that was exactly the intent. It was to be the first roller coaster that Disneyland had. That was supposed to be an opening day thing, that we would have had a roller coaster in Disneyland. And obviously that came along, but just came along a lot later.
Yeah. And I'm sure with all the different cutbacks and budget and stuff, that was part of the thing, too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the original wood carved, like the wooden chariot benches that you saw over at King Arthur's Carousel, when they were removed, the chariot woodwork was repurposed to decorate the calliope tenders and passenger cars of Casey Jr. Circus Train.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So that all came from King Arthur's Carousel.
Yeah, because that definitely makes sense. Because at the time when they had opening day attraction, everything was just like, cheap cutouts kind of stuff, because they were working on a time budget with budgets. Mm-hmm. And then as they earned some more money, they were replacing elements that got rid of that. We had to hurry up and open kind of feel. So they replaced everything with like better 3D stuff, better sculptures. The horses in the carousel got replaced. So that makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay. There's also Casey Jr. Circus Train at Disneyland Paris, which is more of a roller coaster for small children, which goes through Storybook Land, giving riders good views of the Storybook Land castle and other scenes that are not visible from the Storybook Land canal boats.
Which goes to show no good idea ever dies at Disney.
You're absolutely right.
The
Yeah.
very idea for that opening day Casey Jr. attraction.
Just a few years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, more than a few, but okay.
And it's cool to know that I had guessed that would be like a level 1 or like a beginner roller coaster.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, when you ride it, it's a little like, I don't get it. What is this supposed to be? It's just a scenic
Yeah, it's just like a
view
scenic railway.
crammed
of sorts.
into a train. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in Walt Disney World, you'll find the Casey Jr. Splash and Soak Station.
Yeah.
This was, of course, part of the expansion of New Fantasyland. It's located next to Barnstormer. And it's just a fun water play area where kids get sprayed, and stuff like that. But they actually have elements like the elephants, hoses, and the giraffes, and the elephants' trunks, excuse me, and the giraffes are part of the water features as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just spit water at you and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But isn't it funny?
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting with Disneyland that Casey Jr. opened before the actual Dumbo ride did?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's messed up.
Yeah, because the original was supposed to be an opening day attraction, but it opened about a month after.
It was in August. Yeah, absolutely. Disneyland opened in July, and then the Dumbo ride that we know of opened up in August that same year.
Yeah.
Right. There you go. All right. So let's go over to the actual Dumbo attraction. So this, again, was supposed to be an opening day attraction, but as you alluded to, it opened a little bit after opening day, some technical difficulties, things like that. But the original attraction vehicles were pink to recreate the pink elephant scene from the original movie. They also had ears that were designed to flap, but those never worked either, and those were eventually scrapped. In the 60s, the ride vehicles were replaced with a new design, and they had stationary ears.
Well, Lee, real quick, going back to what you were talking about there being some malfunctions, what I found very interesting about it is like 3 weeks prior to opening day, they did the first test flight on Dumbo. And
weren't the ride vehicles too heavy?
Yeah, like they were each 700 pounds each.
Oh my God.
And the mechanism that made them fly was shaking itself to pieces.
Oh, my
trying
God.
to support that weight. So the whole thing needed to be rebuilt almost from scratch prior to opening. So there's a good reason why it took it a little bit to open up and it wasn't ready for opening day, is because they had to 3 weeks out rebuild the entire thing because the ride vehicles weighed so much.
I mean, but people were actually going to fly, though, if they took their ride.
Yeah, you
They're
said
going to have a vibrating bed to sit on, basically. But
you saying that though, Danny. It's like, wow, they got that done in like less than a month because
Yes.
it opened up the next month.
That's exactly it.
That's impressive.
In the rush to kind of get it done with time and money kind of being like a factor, when it opened without Timothy Mouse.
Right.
Because Timothy was always meant to be the centerpiece of the attraction, encouraging Dumbo to fly, except this time he was encouraging more to whip.
Like a chariot. Yeah.
Like, Timothy had a character change.
What's your name?
Oh, yeah.
What's your name?
Dumbo.
the BDSM character.
A BDSM character.
And one of the more famous Dumbo attraction stories, which I love, is the when Harry Truman visited, obviously in 1957. He politely declined a ride on Dumbo just because the elephant was a symbol of the Republican Party. So he thought it would look bad.
That's fair.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just so you know, politics was contentious back in 1957.
I mean, but how well would that work flying in a donkey? I don't know.
When I see a donkey fly,
see an ass fly.
all right, Lee, go ahead. Tell us about the next iteration of Dumbo. All right, so that's Dumbo version 1.
Throbbing.
So as you alluded to, Danny, the first versions had Timothy on top of the ball with a whip, which, again, he never whipped anyone in the original movie or anything, so I'm not sure where that came from. But eventually that would be replaced with him on top of a hot air balloon and the magic feather.
Yeah. But that was like version 3. Like the second version of Dumbo, that's when you kind of got the more mechanical design. Like it was like one of Geppetto's like workshop things that he put together.
Right.
Is that the 1983 redo?
Yes,
Is that
1983 redo.
Yeah, that's when they made it to more like a Victorian kind of gear stuff, and they added the water and the fountains and stuff.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Yeah.
But just back on that subject, the Tokyo Disney Dumbo still has the ball and whip. Actually, the Tokyo Disney is just like the first original Disneyland version. It still even has the 10 ride vehicles as opposed to 16, which is what we have now.
Right.
Disneyland had 12. The original had 12.
Okay. Well, I thought the original had 10.
I think the original had 10. I
Did
think
it have
he's right.
10? But I know when they switched to the 16, because that was Euro Disney, it went from 12 to 16. So I don't know when they... Does somebody have when they switched from 10 to 12?
I don't see any mention of that.
Maybe in 83?
So in 1983, when it reopened then that second time, it still only had 10
It
elephants.
had 10. Interesting. Okay.
It only had 10 elephants.
Because looking from the Disney News magazine, they said that the whole Euro Disney thing, they switched from 12 to 10. So 12 to 16. Because the interesting about the Euro Disneyland Dumbo is that they originally built the 16 passenger attraction, but they were a year ahead. So they decided to give that first iteration of the 16 passenger Dumbo to Disneyland in California, and they built another one for the opening of Disneyland. So the one in Euro Disneyland is actually the second one they built of the 16 passenger Dumbo.
Yeah, but like what happened is the one in Disneyland California, like a support bracket broke on the ride. And so it became imperative that they needed a new Dumbo, and so they used the one for Disneyland Paris and then quickly built a new one to send to Disneyland Paris. But that was where the new Dumbo came from, was because the support bracket broke on the one that they had in
interesting.
Disneyland.
Yeah. No, but that's interesting, Danny, because I'm gonna read straight from Disney News Magazine, which is like the Magic Kingdom Club newsletter, and this is what they say, and I have the excerpt here.
Okay.
The Dumbo, the flying elephant attraction, is actually the second unit built for Euro Disneyland, because the 16 vehicle ride originally intended for Euro Disneyland was completed a year early. It was decided to go ahead and install the one at Disneyland in California, replacing the 35-year-old original 12 Dumbo attraction.
Well,
That is crazy.
yeah, no. I saw two sources that said there was an urgent need for a replacement at Disneyland. And there was one source I saw that said that the reason for that was because the support bracket broke.
That is interesting.
Yeah, so
So they're telling their constituents one thing, whereas the reality is something probably close to what you said.
well, Disney typing in, things broke when people run it, that probably is something they do frown upon. But it could also be a case where two things are true.
Yeah.
One, that thing was completed early and ready to go, and two, that a support bracket broke and that hastened the decision.
But the 10 to 12 thing is what boggles me, because it's in print. It's right there. That's crazy.
Yeah, that does.
It could be a mistake, not caught by the editor, maybe. I don't know, but I
Bad
mean,
math.
Disney, look, that's in your article. I mean,
They
it's
could be right.
1993 fall. There
Yeah,
it is.
we're just gonna have to find pictures of the ride vehicles in different years and
Yeah.
start counting. Is it one Mississippi, two Mississippi,
Jim.
one Dumbo, two Dumbo.
I was gonna say, you better be careful. You might piss off the wrong person and find an elephant head in your bed one day. So
Jim Hill, where are you? Your only hope.
where are you?
Help us figure this out. What is Disney doing? Are they lying toward their constituents?
Reach
or
out
what?
to that man. Send him some brand buffers.
That is
Answer
interesting.
question.
No, that just blew my mind. I mean,
No.
not that I would expect that the press would be something different.
But it's a
what is
weird
there. Yeah.
inconsistency.
It is,
with
especially from the
fact.
company
Did you
itself.
pull this from Fox News?
No. No. Yeah, no, it's straight from Disney News Magazine,
Oh, okay.
fall 1993 issue. I'll post a link, listeners, in the show notes if you're curious. But they have it printed there.
Wow.
Unless it was a mistake. It could be a mistake on the magazine's part, but I mean, somebody at Disney said that was cool.
Wow.
Either way, we both agree they went to 16. So that's
They
good.
went to 16.
They went
Do
to
we
16.
know whether or not there's that intermediate 12? I don't know.
That's a question.
yeah,
It's a
who knows?
riddle wrapped in an enigma.
It does seem like a lot of effort to go through to add just two more Dumbos.
It does. No,
So
you're right.
it does make sense that you would go from 10 to 16.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
true.
go ahead.
This is interesting. I'd be curious to know if anybody knows the story behind all that. But that is pretty crazy.
All right. That is crazy. I did not know this. Shanghai Disney is the only Dumbo that is not located in Fantasyland. Their Dumbo is located in the area called Gardens of Imagination.
Well, because the fantasies in Tokyo are a little bit different than
They usually involve eating off objects.
Or Shanghai.
People.
Or China. So,
Oh, my bad.
That's not what. Okay.
So let's wrap up with the Magic Kingdom one. One thing that I've heard about and had to go back and kind of verify this, but So originally, of course, there was just the one spinner in Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World, and that made for long lines. Because it's a slow loading vehicle and things like that, and it's a popular attraction too. All the kids can ride it and things like that. So one thing that the touring plans strategy to let your kid ride this ride twice. So you would get in line. Let's just say mom, dad, and the kid. Mom, dad, and kid get in line. So dad gets in line with the kid, and then mom waits back for 24 people to get in front of her. Then mom and the kid ride the ride, and then once they get off, instead of exiting, at that point, mom is up to the front of the line, and the dad chucks the kid over the gate to the mom, so that now the kid's in line with mom, and he gets to ride again.
Wait, this is something touring plans endorses?
Yes, this is something they would do, I guess, before Fast Passes and whatever.
Isn't that what they call the Hail Mary pass?
Yeah, catch the baby.
You send one person through, and then
they called it the Bubba Chuck.
Dude, I read that in Disney thing. They call it the Hail Mary pass.
Wow.
You send one guy through, and then when they get to a certain point, everybody joins that one guy. It's the Hail Mary pass, and you hope nobody complains.
Wow.
I thought it was a Hail Mary because you're waiting for the baby to come down.
That's what I thought.
And it's
that works too.
Okay.
I think that works too.
I'm with Danny. That's what I thought that meant. Like you're gonna toss the kid over the barricade.
He said you chuck the baby. Chuck the baby does not mean hand the baby. It means
Not the baby.
Toss that baby.
Toss the baby.
Throw the baby with the bathwater.
Oh,
And everybody knows that a Hail Mary, what do? You bat the baby.
Oh baby.
Oh, baby.
Baby's in the air. Somebody catch it.
Baby, my baby.
Oh baby.
Oh, baby.
It's not my baby. I'm on this side of the barricade on the right. It's your baby.
Oh, baby.
Your turn, baby.
All right, we're going to throw the baby on 3.
Yeah.
Is it 1, 2, 3, then throw, or 1, 2, 3, throw? What are we going to do?
Yeah. The baby's like, what the hell's going on?
I guess that's why they had to create the Fast Pass Plus or something, because they want people throwing their babies around.
Should you put the baby on a hand glider like a paper airplane?
Oh man!
Baby does loop to loops and
Ends up in the bush.
oh my god! They're like, damn man, had the crease on that one. Almost had it.
All right,
Post. Sorry. Go ahead.
Catch it.
Go ahead, Lee. I said post, and you take a left at the pickup truck.
Oh man.
Okay. Sorry.
Laces out. Laces out.
Shotgun.
All right. The Walt Disney World version was upgraded in 2012 as part of the new Fantasyland expansion. This new attraction would double in capacity. It would have 2 spinners instead of 1. We got a circus-themed play area, and now instead of having to wait in line, they'll give you a little buzzer, and you can they'll buzz you when it's your time to come back to the front of the line. So,
or what we in the early 90s used to call a pager.
Pager.
Or a beeper.
A beeper. I had one of those.
I had a beeper.
I was never cool enough to have one.
You never were cool enough to have one?
Yeah, I never had a beeper.
I had one, but I had my girlfriend at the time was real jealous, and I was in trouble because she would look at it and she's like, "Who the hell is Lucille?"
Well, what was always funny is I would have friends that would beat me like boobs, like a calculator.
Oh, wow.
So I'd look at like boobs.
Oh yeah.
I can't call this number back. Oh, it says boobs.
It says boobs on it.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Somebody showed me a trick where I think it was one. They put 173 in the calculator and turned it upside down.
It was like
Eli.
hell. Oh, Eli.
It says hell. Maybe that's a synonym.
Or you remember your girlfriend would be like 143, and you're like, "Aw." Because the 143 used to be "I love you," because that's 1 for 1.
One and
Back in the days before emojis.
Yes.
Yes.
I would rather have had that than an emoji because that could be anything. But okay,
cut to a lot of 20-year-olds going, "What the?"
Hey, Lee.
Sending pictures of avocados.
Lee, did you know that in 1971 when the Dumbo was opening, they had special bearings, the ball bearings, of course, that came from Germany. And also from Germany, the same bearings were made by the company that did the bellows for the monorail and the hotel kitchen equipment.
It's all ball bearings these days.
It's all ball bearings.
What the hell they cooking with?
It all came from Germany. I thought that was funny. So here's some bearings for Dumbo, a bellows for monorail. Oh, and here's some kitchen equipment.
Oh, it's like an extra buy
If you buy
800.
this,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you get like a package deal from
But
Germany.
don't act now.
That's
Don't
right.
act now.
Yeah.
It's 5 easy payments of $99.99. You can have bearings, bellows, and kitchen equipment.
Oh my!
That one I also pulled from a Disney article, what I thought was
Wow.
interesting. Like those three things,
Interesting.
something doesn't quite.
Because you
get
buy
along.
in bulk. So
Of
you
course,
get it all.
It's
yeah.
like a Costco
Yeah, of
thing.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think kitchen equipment, bearings,
Ball bearings.
bearing balls.
You can have the cook juggle while he's cooking in front of everybody else, with
Yes.
the ball bearings. You're juggling balls while you're
Yes.
cooking. There it is.
Yes.
All right, Lee, what's up?
All right. We're going to end with one last thing regarding the Dumbo attraction. In Walt Disney World, there is a hidden Mickey in front of Walt Disney World's Dumbo. So as you exit off the Fantasyland train station, you follow the path to the area in front of the entrance to Dumbo the Flying Elephant. There are tracks of a large elephant and a small elephant, Miss Jumbo and Dumbo,
Yes.
imprinted in the cement. And at one point, these elephant prints come together at times to form classic hidden Mickeys. So I've got a picture of that. I'll put in the show notes if you'd like to see that. And then I thought this was such a great detail. You'll also find peanuts littering the ground that are smashed into the walkway.
No.
Nice touch.
yeah.
Peanut butter.
Now, now these peanuts,
Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Where you at?
Did you say biscuits?
Biscuits.
just grab them in the biscuit.
Grab it a biscuit.
All right, come on, Humpty. Wait.
So these peanuts are fake, of course, but
You
we
say
actually-
peanuts or
the peanuts.
Oh, peanuts.
The peanuts
Okay,
that are
thank you.
fake. That are,
No, the peanuts are real. It's the female orgasm that's fake.
But these peanuts are fake, of course, but they still had people complain because their kids had peanut allergies.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I read about this.
Yeah, we
Yes.
talked about this one
Yeah,
time
we did
somewhere.
talk about this on the show once.
Yes.
About even
People
though
actually complain.
Did people sue him or something? They had to remove it.
I don't know if they sued them, but they made complaints, and not necessarily. It sounds dumb, of course, at first because, of course, they're fake peanuts. Your kid is not going to die from a fake peanut, but more from them having to
the mental
deal
thing.
with their
Yeah,
kids.
yeah,
like
yes.
freaking
The
out.
mental
because of
trauma of the peanut.
It's like
Yes.
PTSD.
Yes.
Yeah.
Peanut trauma.
Peanut trauma. There you go.
Peanut trauma is real.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, we talked about. Yeah, we talked
Yeah, we
about
did talk about this on a previous show.
And I can't remember what it was, but yeah, because it was like that's so weird, and they're
Peanut
not
trauma
real.
is real,
It's
and we're
real,
in
man.
effect.
Man, shell out on that.
You know that's depressingly, but here's a
That's
fact.
crazy.
Here's a fact that I like about, especially the Disneyland one. A lot of the gear mechanisms in the attraction were coated in 22 karat gold plating.
What?
In order for it to not need polishing, much like the Sleeping Beauty spires on the castle, they didn't have to worry about polishing it because it was plated in
Plated in
22.
gold.
Yeah, plated in gold.
Meanwhile, I had to worry about people trying to steal it out the ground or something like that, trying to get paid.
Sticking in a tooth.
Yeah, sticking it in the tooth.
Why the
Got a whole peanut in the tooth.
I know because that's the easiest place to hide it.
Okay.
No, it's not. Who's gonna look?
I'm not going to shove carrot in my butt.
24 carats.
Who's going to look at your mouth closely?
Well, you gotta talk. You gotta talk, right?
not now. You're gonna have a mask on, so you're good.
All right. You know, what I find is interesting is that the one in Disney World is missing its Timothy Mouse. There's no Timothy Mouse.
You're right.
In the centerpiece of the attraction, he's on the exterior marquee of the attraction.
Man, Timothy gets no love so far past the movie.
Well,
No?
I mean, it makes sense, right? Because he couldn't be on both. There's two spinners. So instead of putting him on one, instead of
What the fuck? What? No, dude. There's like
Timothy.
there's 18 Dumbos. You can't have two. Can't have two Timothys with 18 Dumbos. No,
I mean, he's an integral
no,
part
it's
of the
16
story.
and 16. No, that
said
would
16.
be 32. There's 32
32.
Dumbos, but we can only have one Timothy.
Why could
That's
they?
right.
Why could they? I mean, he's a mouse. They could have just had like a little, like a little sculpture, like sitting
I
right
could
on the
put-
tip of his nose.
put
or
Ratatouille
something.
on there.
But you know the funny thing is like the pink elephants, the original, I thought kind of made sense because there was multiple pink elephants.
Sure.
But there's only
Sure.
one Dumbo, yet there's a ton of Dumbos that you get to ride it.
Right.
I mean, but who wants to ride in a pink elephant? You want to ride in Dumbo, of course,
I get
right?
that though. You're Dumbo, And you're flying around the circus, right? So that's the representation.
Eli,
It's like rapid eye movement.
If I'm tripping, I want to go on a pink elephant. Man.
Well, I hear that, but I mean,
I
come
want to
on.
go on a pink elephant if I'm going on a trip.
Come on, how scary is that? That's like flying in Pepto-Bismol
I'm
bottles.
feeling good, Eli. I want a pink elephant, Eli.
It's gotta be a
It's
pink
gotta
elephant.
be pink. Dumbo, I love Dumbo, but it's gotta be a pink
Why
elephant.
can't be just real Dumbo flying around?
Because
though,
pink
man?
elephant's what I'm seeing, Eli.
Bro, that's-
I got it on my face. I can't see Dumbo, but I see pink elephants.
Yo, man.
We're calling Kevin an Uber.
Yo, man, that's happiness.
I'm worried.
That Kevin is happy.
That's a good chocolate whiskey.
That is happy. That's good and happy right there. I like it.
It is.
And another thing that I found interesting was, and we didn't really get into this because this was a never built Dumbo thing, but I'm sure Lee came across this in his research. The Dumbo's Circus Land in Disneyland. Lee, you came across that?
Right, but it never came to be.
You know,
It never came to
Danny,
be.
that's something maybe we tease for a future show because I was going to talk to you about doing that because I stumbled upon
Like
that when I was
things that never
researching
came to
this.
be?
Yeah, and that was the whole thing. Disneyland Circus Fantasy.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's a whole circus thing that we could do with that. We can make it its own show. You want to make it its own show?
Let's make it its own show because other things I was going to bring up. They had the Dumbo Circus Parade in Walt Disney World and Disneyland, and they did also have a Disneyland Circus Fantasy, which they did in conjunction with Ringling Brothers and Barnum's Circus.
Yes.
So when Lee brought up Ringling Brothers,
that
that
makes
wasn't
sense.
the only time that they worked together. So yeah, let's tease that. Let's work on that and put that together for show because that's a whole interesting other subject with Dumbo.
I was going to say, because part of something that came out of that ended up in that band organ, which is also at the Disneyland version, the Disneyland band organ that they purchased and they periodically would play. So yeah, we can hold on to all that.
Let's do that. Let's hold on to that, and we'll present that in a future show, guys. Because all this, you thought Dumbo was just a movie and the rides, ladies and gentlemen, Mohicans. But look, there was a whole other stuff of Dumbo that they were using back in the day in the parks. You know, from a parade to a whole circus thing for a limited amount of time to that land that never got built.
Yes.
Very, very interesting, man. So we'll probably get to that in a future show.
Just scratching the surface.
We're scratching. Lee scratched the surface that people know, and in the future, Danny and I, we're going to go into a little deeper. Deeper. Because Dumbo starts with D, and deeper starts with D.
Ooh.
So this is going to get deep.
Way deep.
Way
Deep under
Deep under Dumbo?
Like
Under
deep,
Dumbo.
deep under Dumbo. But yeah, no, it's funny because I found a Q&A in Disney News Magazine. Right, and somebody asked about why don't you build Disney Circus? It sounds like today. Why don't you build Disney Dumbo's Circus Land? And it's like, oh, that project is currently on hold. That's how they responded.
Yes,
the magazine. It's currently on hold. Whatever.
Because they
else.
announced it. They
did.
said they were doing it.
Yeah, and somebody called them out in the magazine. Said, why don't you build this? And they said, oh, it's currently on hold. Blah, blah, blah. Same kind of thing, kind of like Mount Fuji. But yeah, Danny and I, we're going to go into that. It's a whole fascinating thing because, yeah, that would have been pretty cool.
And you kind of did get that with New Fantasyland.
You're absolutely right. Kind of.
I'm absolutely right. Take the bottle away from Kevin. I'm worried about
No,
it.
let him keep it.
It puts the bottle on its skin.
Let him keep it. I'll finish this
Or else
part
it
up
gets
for you,
the
though.
hose again.
Because I'm a good friend. I'll take care of the rest of that for you.
It's chocolate, man.
But no, I know it's sweet, right?
It's sweet.
It is interesting so far, and I don't know if there's more stuff to be uncovered, but
There's a lot of Dumbo stuff to be uncovered.
It sounds like
yes.
The only thing is I just feel that Timothy should have got a shot because if it wasn't for Timothy, think about it now. We heard this earlier. Dumbo doesn't speak.
No,
Timothy was his buddy.
Timothy's his mouthpiece. Like if you're a wrestling fan, you know. I know Danny knows this. He knows what I'm going.
He's his Flavor Flav.
I'm just in it with saying that. I think that's my only criticism. I guess is the fact that yes, Dumbo is the centerpiece. But since he doesn't talk, you need Timothy, and I think that's just a weird thing to not have him integrated in Disney culture.
Which is it's funny because in the TV show they didn't even have Timothy on. Whatever that TV show was, I forget. But yeah, Timothy wasn't even in there.
Is it like mouse competition? Is it like
could it be? Yeah, it could be like there's only one mouse.
One mouse. Yeah.
You know what's funny though? I have a future show that I'm planning called the Mouse Heroes of Disney. So there's more than one mouse. There's more than one mouse.
Oh,
in Disney
take
culture.
the other bottle. He's got a second bottle.
Mickey's got some partners.
Let that man have all he wants.
And Mickey's got some partners that were mice. And, his brethren that also supported him throughout the Disney universe.
See,
so that's a future show. We'll talk about the mice of Disney. Lee, what else you got? Is that it?
I think that's it. I just know that anytime I visit Disney, the Dumbo is a must-do for me. Simple attraction, just a basic spinner, but it just brings me back to being a little kid, sitting in that room, listening to those records, singing along to the songs, following along in the books, things like that. So, yeah. So thanks, guys, for your help with this. It was definitely a lot of information, and it could have been a 5-hour show if I'd had more time to do it, because there's just so much out there. So I'm glad you guys found some stuff that will help us to maybe delve a little deeper into this in the future.
Don't think us. Thank Mama Vika, because
Mama Vika, that's
if you had pulled Mama
That's true. It all started with Mama Vika.
You're right. If it wasn't for Mama Vika, we wouldn't be talking about this, because you wouldn't have loved this attraction movie so much.
Don't
brought
thank
the
us.
heart.
Thank an empty bottle of chocolate whiskey.
Well, there's that.
Sitting on the other end of the table right now.
Well, we did some research and reading, but
but listen, there's so much Dumbo left to do. Like when we started researching for this, there's like so much to delve into as far as Dumbo. Some of this you probably wished would have happened. So we're going to talk about that on a future show.
Yes.
And delve even deeper to Lee's obsession with Dumbo and stuff.
Yes.
And no, it's a great movie. It's such a good movie, and so I'm excited to explore this further. So let us know what you think, guys. Show at magicarway.com, and if you want to get in touch with other ways, we're about to tell you in just a little bit. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed that discussion about Dumbo, the attractions, and the movie. There's a whole lot more to talk about with Dumbo, so make sure you stay tuned with us. Look, magicourway.com is where you can find us. There you'll find our social media links, past episodes, and more. Also, if you want to get in touch with us to share your opinion, show@magicourway.com is where you can find us. Leave us a voicemail via SpeakPipe widget on our homepage, or you can call or text us at 1-815-MOWEEKEND. That's 1-815-MOWEEKEND 669-4226. And of course, we got a couple of guys that do things outside of the podcast. First of all, we got Eli, does things with comics. Sir, tell them what you got going on.
Yeah, first off, I'd like to thank all of the weekends that have stuck with us through this interesting time and have listened to us and allowed us to come into your homes or your cars or wherever it is. So appreciate y'all's support. And as always, you can visit the Ivory Comics website where you can see artwork that I have for Project Geisha, Molly Be Damned, and Savages. Actually, you can go ahead and read Savage's first issue online for free, no charge. That's my weekend love for y'all autistic buffs, talking all the good stuff. All right, you can also see a link to this podcast. So you never miss an episode. So you can read the comic, listen to us talk, have a good laugh while you're reading, getting all the creative synergy right there. That's a word. Synergy. Get that.
Word, Nick.
Word.
Gem.
Truly outrageous.
Yes.
That's what we do all the time. You can also find me on Facebook.com, Eli H. Ivory. I always look to meet new people there. As long as you're a real person, not a bot, because that's dangerous. I've been learning about them. I'm going to catch them. Also, you can find on Facebook.com, you can see the Project Geisha page there. So, of course, Facebook.com/Project Geisha. You can also find me on Instagram. I'm posting up the likes and the thumbs up and the hearts and the comments. I see a couple of you guys and ladies up there, so be always liking what you guys post up. So EIvory504, you can see me there, and of course on Twitter I can be found at Hancock10166. So if you appreciate the madness, and you just bringing me the gladness, and I'm smiling really good right now. Thank you very much.
And guys, look, if you want to book a vacation to Walt Disney World coming up next month in July, they are reopening. Check out our show, last show 324. You'll learn all about it. You can do so through Lee. And don't forget, every booking with Lee is going to help. A little bit of that's going to help with the Magic Our Way podcast. Lee, tell them how to do this.
And a little bit more will be helping with Girl Power.
That's right. Girl Power to Carry. And you're still supporting that, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, so look, every booking helps our show as well as Girl Power to Cure. I'll let Lee describe what all that is. Go ahead, Lee.
Just give me a call at 832-431-1621. That's 832-HANDY-DANDY-CROW. 832-HNDY-DNDY-CRW. I know that's too many letters, but it's just a joke.
Yeah, it's
email
funny
me at
as,
Lee.
The whole thing.
It's
yeah, Jim Crow
hilarious.
probably would have fit the numbers. But
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he would
You know.
have danced away like Cab
It would have been
Calloway.
terrible, but
Yeah.
Jim Beam works too.
Oh,
yeah,
Jim Beam,
yeah,
okay.
that's 3 and 4. I like that.
Wow.
Oh,
Jim Beard.
This got all kinds of wrong.
Jim, yes, it did.
You just calling that now?
I've been trying to wrestle the bottles away from you two for a
No,
while.
just let it happen today. Just let it
No,
happen.
yeah.
It's all about chocolate.
It's so sweet.
Yeah.
Chocolate rain.
Notice how I say that. Chocolate.
It's better than Purple Rain.
It sounds good in the mic. Chocolate.
Chocolate.
It
Yes,
is.
thank you.
You can email me at lee@magicourway.com. Facebook.com/Lostavica Travel. That's LASTOVICA Travel. And on Instagram, you can find me at You Got a Friend in Lee Travel. If you do any of that, we'll get you hooked up and booked up with no.
Hasselvika!
So, guys, look, there's a bunch of different ways you can support us, man. Go to our webpage, magicourway.com. That's where you'll find all the different ways. Look, and also we have a YouTube channel. If you don't subscribe, man, make sure you do, because we're releasing content there every day. And if you're at work and you can't listen to us via the normal means, you know, I'm talking about like iTunes Music, Google Play, Podcast, whatever it is, you can pull us up on YouTube with a website and you can listen to past episodes. We're releasing stuff almost pretty much every day until we get our entire catalog up there. So make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, like everything, share it with your friends.
Yeah!
Because, man, there's a lot of good stuff that's happening with the Magic Our Way podcast, and you want to be part of that. Because, look, every opinion is always welcome on the Magic Our Way podcast, man. I'm serious about that. That's one of the basic reasons why we started this show. So make sure you get in touch with us today. So, look, we always thank each and every one of you for listening. We appreciate each and every one of you for listening. So, man, we look forward to hearing from you guys. So, Mohicans, ladies and gentlemen, we say Kwaherini. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.